I'm an actress and an artist, and I'm also a teacher for children in the mountains. And now I have another identity, wildlife protector. I previously did some work in Africa with Wild Aid. I'm also a Wild Aid ambassador for rhino conservation.
Over the last decade, Jiang Yiyan has traveled between China and Africa many times. She's drawn attention to the huge effort that local people put into wildlife protection. In China, she made documentaries, held exhibitions, and wrote books for charity to raise people's awareness, encourage donations to improve wildlife protection in Africa. This is the 7th time Jiang Yiyan has set foot in the Maasai Mara National Reserve. Without wasting any time, she and her old friend Marc Goss have gone out onto the savannah to observe the living conditions of wild elephants.
My name is Marc Goss. I was born in Kenya, in Nairobi. I've lived here my whole life, and the reason why I joined the Mara Elephant Project is to try and make a difference for elephant protection in Africa.
4 years ago, Marc Goss came to the Maasai Mara and became the director of the Mara Elephant Protection Organisation. Born and raised in Kenya, Marc speaks fluent Swahili.
I'm a Kenyan, a white Kenyan, just like there's black people living in America or different cultures all over the world.
With the support of the Kenyan government, the Mara Elephant Protection Organisation was founded in 2012. Now there are 35 rangers in the organisation. Due to human activities and illegal poaching, the 450 elephants that live here are facing different levels of threat.
This is the Alpha team reporting over dead elephant.
Okay, confirm Alpha team, please send coordinates of location in a UTM of the dead elephant. Over.
Upon receiving the news from the patrols in the reserve, Marc and Jiang Yiyan immediately turned back towards the site.
Our first attempt to pull it out has failed. We noticed that the baby elephant's trunk was bleeding, and then we realized that its trunk must have been cut off by something very sharp. So Marc's theory is that some poachers must have set up some traps or snares around the area. Perhaps they were just intending to catch some smaller animals or game, but the baby elephant entered that area by mistake and its trunk was severed by the snare. The wound is quite fresh and it is still bleeding. It appears to have been dead for less than a day.
This elephant is a young bull elephant. If it had a collar on it, we would get what's called an immobility alert. So when the collar stops moving, we actually start getting alerts on our mobile device that this collar has stopped moving, so we can go and see what's wrong. It looks like this elephant.
The collar that Marc is talking about is an animal tracking system specially made by Mara Elephant Protection Organisation, but this elephant doesn't have one. After an investigation, it is confirmed that the baby elephant was killed by a trap set up by poachers. Marc decides to take immediate action. "26-year-old Elvis is a Maasai. He was born in a village nearby. As captain of MEP Rangers, he is in charge of ground operations.
Because I grew from the local community, and I knew about the animals.
While he is on the ground, Marc and Jiang Yiyan are in the helicopter above, providing guidance and security warnings to the ground team.
Poachers! Poachers! I find poachers over there! 3 o'clock! Elvis, go, go, go!
Go, 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 go!
Following the smell of smoke, Elvis and his team caught the poachers who were preparing to roast the meat over a fire. Luckily, the poachers were not carrying guns. But in the past, Elvis has often come up against armed poachers in life-threatening situations.
We have arrested 2 poachers who have been threatening this area and killing some animals for bushmeat. They go and sell them and they also eat them.
These patrol rangers are the front line of wildlife protection. In Africa, patrol rangers die every year in the fight against armed poachers. Marc feels very strongly about this.
I mean, I could live anywhere. I could live, but the reason why I work here is because, not only because of the elephants that I protect, but also the people that I work with.
Poaching incidents like this are no surprise to Jiang Yiyan. She's witnessed the cruelty of poaching firsthand in a nature reserve in northern Kenya in 2016. At that time, a white rhinoceros named Sudan was 42 years old and was too old to breed again. There are only 3 white rhinos left. From sunrise to sunset on the immense Kenyan savanna, they waited silently to become part of history. Last year, Kenya Wildlife Service relocated 14 black rhinoceros to the Tsavo East National Park, the largest wildlife reserve in southeast Kenya, to provide a safer habitat for this endangered species. The Maasai village near the reserve is where Elvis lives. Jiang Yiyan gives lectures to the children here every time she comes to visit. Recently, the villagers have had some trouble.
Elephants are looking for food, so they go into people's farms. And when they get into the farms, one elephant can destroy someone's hard work for a whole year in a very short time.
What this map shows is that the elephants are in a much bigger area where the community is, where people are.
But the Mara land is good.
Yeah, so you see, this is natural and unknown, but as soon as you move out, and then look, the other one is conflict, human-elephant conflict. So that's what I wanted to talk about more with you, is some of the solutions to poaching, but also to the human-elephant conflict.
The introduction of the elephants was accompanied by the destruction of farms and even human casualties. Local people were forced to defend themselves from rampaging elephants using spears and arrows. In May of this year, Mara Elephant Protection Organisation received 14 reports of elephants injured as a result of these conflicts. So, what solutions are there to ease the tension between human and elephant? The answer is these little black balls.
This is an acacia seed.
So that's what grows on the field. So that small seed, it's small for now, but when it grows, it will be a very large tree.
A wrapping of charcoal and clay with some fertilizer in it, and it can stay on the ground for a long time before it rains. Then when it grows big, the elephants eat it. We planted some in October and they're already like 2 feet high.
It's a food as well as a seed. When a seed grows into a tree, it forms a natural and safe barrier.
Now I have Kiki as a friend as well. So I think building those friendships is really the key to be able to protect African wildlife. And also we have a lot to learn from the Chinese in terms of protection.
Now that poaching and smuggling have become a global problem, Chinese enterprises are providing the Internet of Things, big data and artificial intelligence to help Kenya build a digital system which is able to provide sustainable and effective protection for wild animals. Every year, many Chinese volunteers like Jiang Yiyan come to Africa to promote wildlife protection.
Many people think that Africa is so far away and those animals are so far away, so what can I do? I think I should not just film this beautiful land, but protect it as well. I hope that more people will have the opportunity, that our children and the future generations will have the chance to see the beauty of nature with their own eyes, see living animals in the wild instead of just in textbooks or documentaries.